I love internet culture. It's something so fascinating to me, so beautiful, so fun to play around with. There's always a bear waiting to be poked, so they can gnash their teeth at you until you eventually pull out your very high caliber machine gun and wipe out their face. That's kind of what's happening in this lovely episode of Chuckling with Nuxanor, which is a title that I just came up with right now and will probably never be mentioned again, where another lovely YouTube creator on this marvelous platform decided to be said bear in this lovely metaphor. I poked the bear got upset, gnashed their teeth, and this episode is the very high caliber machine gun that will be used on the bear's face. So, one thing when it comes to internet culture that fascinates me are fandoms. Being that everyone has different things that they enjoy based on nature, based on nurture, based on whatever the hell you want, I don't care. Some people like anime, some people like makeup, some people like watching people stuff their face with food because yeah, that's a popular genre on YouTube. I don't know why it exists, but it does exist and people watch it and I don't understand them. But I'm a live and let live kind of guy, unless of course I don't like them, in which case I won't let them live. Not at all epic foreshadowing to what's going on in this video. Now, being that internet culture as well as fandoms fascinate me, I like to take time to soak in different fandoms, to understand them, to point out the toxic parts to them, and to flex on them when I feel like they deserve something like that. Now, I have two different style approaches. I have a more constructive criticism kind of approach, where I talk about the issues and how I think that they should be fixed. And I have the laughing at toxicity approach, where I take the toxic aspects of the fandom and I just roast them to oblivion. I love both of these things, and I talk about any fandom that I feel like warrants my wrath at any given point. So if you're new here, definitely subscribe and let me know in the comments other fandoms you'd like me to start learning about so I can eventually destroy, or maybe I'll actually like them and be like, damn, this is a fandom of wholesome, upstanding individuals. This is extremely important as far as a prerequisite for understanding what's going on in this video, because there is a fandom that I angered and the fandom attempted to fight back. But they don't know who they're messing with. But now they will. Oh, and in regards to Leafy being clickbait in my thumbnail, I had no idea what else to put there in order to cover this topic, and being that Leafy made 8 videos on Pokimane, where only like 2 of them actually talked about Pokimane and the rest were all clickbait, I feel like it's completely warranted. Nothing but respect for your clickbait game, and I think at this point, if you're not clickbaiting even a little bit on YouTube, you're kinda stupid. So anyway, let's talk about this fandom that tried to destroy me back after I, tore them an entirely new anus to shiest from. The One Piece community. A lovely, wholesome place of nothing but frolicking among daisies and daffodils, as well as having some toxicity here and there. But funnily enough, the video I made to anger this community, where I declared war on the One Piece community, it's a video I made about 5 weeks ago, so since they got 5 weeks to respond, I'd imagine that it was a good response. In a way, I'm happy it's not a good response, because it allows me plenty of room to destroy them. But also, I wanted to make clear that the distinction I made in the beginning of this video between my videos laughing at toxicity as well as giving criticism, this declaring war video was a criticism video. It was not a laughing at toxicity video, and I even mentioned that in the video itself, that it is not a video laughing at the toxicity of the fandom. It's talking about criticisms in the actual community. It's a criticism of some community leaders, not the whack jobs in the fandom that take things out of proportion. I say that in the video itself, which is why I didn't title the video The Toxic Fandom of One Piece. It's why I titled the video Declaring War on the One Piece community, not the One Piece fans. There's a massive difference there that I even mention in the video itself. And well, I've done videos talking about toxic fandoms in the past, and that's very much not what's gonna be going on here. And a ton of the arguments in this video that was made to take me down was trying to argue about how there are outliers in the One Piece fan base, and tried to make a distinction between fans and community leaders. So you kind of missed the mark with the target audience for my declaring war video, probably because you watched the video 5 weeks before you made the response video. But anyway, not gonna hold that against you or anything. Let's jump into the meat and potatoes, where I dissect and destroy every single one of your points, and also accidentally point out why you're a hypocrite with many of the things you say. Because if you want to tussle with the muscle, you gotta be prepared for me to fight back. So, I am recording this video August 13th. On August 12th, Joy Boy Theories absolute legend in the One Piece community, made a 30-minute video responding to my video. Not responding to my entire video, but only to key points, because as he so eloquently mentions at the very, very beginning of the video, I don't really disagree with Nux too much. He's right about most of what he's actually saying. I only disagree with a few key points. And then he proceeds to paint a premise of how he actually argues with most of the video, but he just doesn't want to get hate, so he clearly starts off with this amazing umbrella stance of, I don't really disagree with Nux. Anyway, I'll tell you how he actually pretty much disagrees with everything, tries to disprove most of it, and he ends up proving himself to be wrong for most of it, which is ironic and hilarious. So before dissecting all of his points, and I will show them to you as I destroy them, I'd like to mention that very few people actually went ahead and made big responses. There were a lot of smaller creators that did, and I didn't really feel like most of them warranted a response because a lot of them agreed with me, and a lot of them only disagreed with like minor points. This video actually goes ahead to try and take down every point I made in the video, and I think it did a pretty bad job of it. That said, I've spoken to a lot of creators in the One Piece community, and so many of them were like, bro, we totally agree with you. Thank you for calling this out. We hated that this was actually plaguing the community. I'm not gonna call them out because I don't want to cause civil war in the One Piece community or anything. Not like that's something I'm trying to do. But the fact that behind the scenes so many creators were like, bro, thank you for this. You freed us. I was honored. Hell yes. You see, I am such a wholesome man. At least that's what I want you to think until I go ahead and destroy Joy Boy's video. Now, important premise, not trying to send hate to Joy Boy. I know that my fandom is extremely powerful, and looking at toxic communities, I need to look no further than my own, because I love you toxic bastards. Thank you so much for being a part of the army. Oh my god. So, not trying to anger you or invoke your wrath or anything, but you see, I like Joy Boy as a person. He seems like a nice-ish guy, I guess. I don't really know him that well, but he seems pretty cool. So, no hate towards him. And I want you to let me know in the comments what you really think. Who really #lost the war? I link him in the description. Feel free to check him out and check out his other videos, mostly comprised of One Piece theories and One Piece chapter reviews, if that's something you like. But I'm just saying, if you want to argue with me, I'm gonna fight back. And just because I think you're a nice guy, it's not gonna be like, okay, if you're a nice guy, I'm gonna take the L. No, you're a nice guy, and I'm gonna take 2 W's. That's how this is gonna work. He starts off really strong, saying, bro, Nux, of course you're not gonna get big responses. Your video's too long. My video's 40 minutes. His video's 30 minutes, where he doesn't even claim he disagrees with most of what I say. He starts off saying he doesn't disagree with most of it, and then, on the few things he does disagree on, he makes a video that's 3/4 the length of my own, after his first criticism being my video's too long. The hypocrisy is just getting started here, lads. I just thought that's a great way to start off the video. He then goes ahead and condenses the points of my video, and completely misses the point entirely if you've seen my video itself. Maybe being that my video was uploaded 5 weeks ago, you probably watched it once back then and didn't get the chance to rewatch it, you don't remember. And it's not like I'm blaming you for that or anything, but I'm totally blaming you for that. If you're gonna make a response, don't condense it wrong and then run along your narrative. You'll see that that's a reoccurring theme, but
I dislike things, and the things that I dislike are also bad. Also, the specific thing I dislike is angry people. And angry people are also toxic, and toxic people make me sad.
Anywho, let's move on, because the first major point of my video was how apparently, allegedly, I don't like power scaling, and I think all power scaling is bad when it comes to One Piece. You know, imagining how strong different One Piece characters are, pitching them in fictional battles against each other, hypothetically, who would be victorious. And Joy Boy makes it seem like I think that this is a travesty and not something that should be done. I never claimed that at all in my video. But he starts off real hard with explaining how I missed the point, because my point is, in my video, a differentiation between power scalers as one issue that I have, and theorists, another issue that I have.
That there is differing amounts of evidence that could be applied to various situations if you're intending to power scale. Same shit is also true of theories. Some things are more justified, some things are less justified. So is it a theory or is it a speculation? Who the fuck cares?
And you see, in the words of the great Joy Boy, these are both the same issue, because power scaling is a form of theory. So really, my entire video is just issues with theory aspects to the One Piece community. Power scaling is a form of theory, shipping different characters is a form of theory, actual theories is a form of theory. So my entire video, the fact that I dissected it and split it up into different categories is in itself wrong. This was what Joy Boy said, and no, brother, you don't understand the definition for theory. You see, someone whose actual channel title is Joy Boy theories. The definition of a theory is pretty much a hunch. It's something that is not based in fact. It is something that is purely conjecture at this point. You may have many principles that you can attempt to prove your point, but at the end of the day, a theory is something that is not factual because it is simply still in the hypothetical. Now, that said, my biggest complaint with power scalers is that it affects their perception of the actual story by taking this hypothetical into reality. They don't view it as a theory like they should. They view it as their own mismatched, warped view of reality. My complaints with power scaling isn't that you shouldn't power scale at all. Go ahead, have fun, I don't care. It just turns things toxic when it stifles discussion by creating your own headcanon based along words like the Warlord tier, the Emperor tier, the Admiral tier. Tiers in the One Piece universe that are meant to give people various degrees of status based on their clout or fame or infamousness, but has nothing to do with their necessary power. So by using this term that's created for clout, but instead using it as something that refers to their strength, it adds this very warped headcanon to the One Piece world that they end up getting twisted. They start blaming Oda for bad power scaling or bad narrative writing. They end up getting into fights with other community members because they clearly don't believe in this rule of power scaling based on different terminologies. So power scaling, in essence, should be an aspect of theory. But the reason why it's in a different category in my video is because the actual community doesn't view it as theory. I hope you understand. Your next point is that I shouldn't have been talking about Warlord level as much as I did.
Warlord level is certainly the most cherry-picked thing you could have possibly chosen to express an opinion that is largely flawed. I think that you overcomplicated the conversation to the point of partially making yourself wrong.
I mentioned Warlord level a bunch, but Warlord level has such a big range of people. I cherry-picked, in your words, Warlord level, and I should have been talking about things like Emperor level instead. Well, I should be looking at Emperor level instead. Luffy is an Emperor, and he got absolutely bodied by Kaido in a split second in Wano, showing that they are very much not the same tier. In fact, Luffy is an Emperor when he was weaker than Katakuri when they met on Whole Cake. He became an Emperor without getting any stronger since fighting Katakuri. Katakuri is a commander level character. So yes, I'm sorry for cherry picking the Warlord tier. It's just the one with the most obvious inconsistencies. But the other tiers don't make that much sense either if Luffy's an Emperor and as strong as a commander, okay? Cherry picking Warlord level. Oh, that disproves my point. Thank you. Then you try to really sum up my argument by saying, oh, the reason why I am saying don't power scale is because it takes a lot of brain work to actually calculate, and I'm saying don't power scale because it's too hard. And then you use a very interesting term. Nux just flexed on himself by proving he doesn't have the brain power to power scale accurately.
But then it feels like you made the jump, well, it's so hard, so you gotta give up. Quitter's mentality.
The guy who flexes on people on YouTube flexed on himself. No, it is too hard for him.
And me as well, not gonna lie. But like, some people enjoy the challenge, man. That's what they want to do.
Bro, I've never said don't power scale One Piece. If you want to power scale One Piece, knock yourself out. Everyone gets enjoyment from different things. As I've mentioned, I don't care about the beauty community on YouTube and all these people that are selling makeup palettes. I don't give one single darn about any of that materialistic garbage, but that's my perspective. People obviously do care about it, and I don't care if they care about it. Let them thrive. I just like thriving in the chaos that will ensue when I spit too many facts for you to comprehend. This is again what I mean by you summing up my video in a simple sentence, but missing the point. You literally say, Nux says don't power scale cause it's too hard. He just flexed on himself. I never said don't power scale cause it's too hard. I said don't take these terms and make them your own headcanon as some excuse to start crapping on Oda and other members of the community that may not agree with you. Anyway, when you actually do finally get around to talk about the major issue I have, which is the terminology aspect, you totally missed the forest for the trees again. As someone with theory in their goddamn title that cranks out One Piece theories, and oh, I will get to those theories in just a second, don't you worry. You'd think, perhaps, you'd get some sort of vague understanding of what I'm saying. You compare the terminology within the One Piece world, like Warlord level, emperor level, commander level. You compare that terminology to the memes on my channel. Your actual example is, well, if you're out of the community, you wouldn't understand what we mean by warlord level and emperor level. You wouldn't understand the deep philosophy of the warlord level characters. It's so deep you wouldn't understand if you're outside of the community. Just like if you're outside of Nux's community, you wouldn't understand his dumb I-189 IQ meme. You see, you are the very thing you sought to destroy.
The same as many don't know what the hell 189 dumb high IQ is, but those in your community understand, and the joke is effectively communicated. Like One Piece creators using tiers colloquially. You use this joke like you assume we know what the hell you're talking about and what this thing means. You are no different from people using these tiers in your own way.
You went ahead and tried to make me a hypocrite by making fun of the terminology in the One Piece community, by saying that people outside of my community wouldn't understand my memes. I don't even feel like I need to explain why that sounds just so stupid. Maybe my video where I actually declared war on the One Piece community, maybe that video was after doing a lot of research in the One Piece community. So I do understand the terms. And you know what? Something very funny. Since it's obviously a term you could only understand, I can't even fathom how you could understand this term if you're not in the community itself. It's very, very not self-explanatory. Like, honestly, admiral level probably doesn't mean the level of power that admirals have, except that's exactly what it means. But being that I researched the community, I'm able to make these claims because I do understand it. Your context can't be you don't understand it because you're out of the community if I research the community and understand it. And also, there are so many people in the community that thanked me for this video because they hate it too, but they are suppressed by the people in the community that use this terminology. Again, I don't want to point out names, but I could. So if the very people in the community who actually do know what's going on agree and appreciate my point, well then my point was good, and you can't say, well, it's like your memes are for your community. Well, yeah, my memes are for my community, and you should definitely subscribe because my memes are amazing, if I do say so myself, and they're funny if you're in my community. So join my community and appreciate the memes. I'm not allowed to make a joke anymore? Are you saying that all inside jokes should become illegal because people outside the community won't understand them? If you're in the community and it's a bad joke, well then you could say it's a bad joke. But I researched the community, so I could say that it's bad terminology. And his big finale, his final point, icing in the cake against my lovely power scaling arguments, as he likes to put them, is his comparison from power scaling to bad ships.
Shippers.
Writing lemons and romance fan fiction between some of your favorite characters without regard whatsoever to the narrative. I mean, if you really want to, the art is pretty easy to find. Sasuke and Naruto. It's been shipped, believe it. Zoro and Sanji. Absolutely, yep. Luffy and Ace, Nami and Sanji, it's all there. But what this proves is that there are communities within every fandom that do not necessarily care what the story is actually suggesting. They don't care about the facts. They enjoy thinking about the possibilities.
You see, my entire argument is inherently that terminology of power scaling creates some sort of headcanon that people will now be upset at the writers for, throw temper tantrums, get upset when different characters are revealed to not be as strong as they expected, and lash out to other people in the community. You see, how can you go against them when they're the same people that make bad ships? There are people that ship Zoro with Sanji. There are people that ship Nami with Luffy. There are people that ship in My Hero Academia 2. They ship Eri with Nomu. Okay, that was my example. But you see, how can you go against power scalers when it's just a different form of shipping? It's their own headcanon that doesn't necessarily have to do with what the creator wants as well, and they also make fun of the creator and other people in the community if it doesn't follow what they want. How can you make fun of power scaling when the people that ship do the same thing? What the hell argument is that? Like I can't criticize people that make cringy ships and then lash out at the community. I don't care if you power scale privately in your bedroom and don't have any hardship against the creator or other people in the community. You think I care what you do? You think I care if you ship characters but don't actually take it out on the creator or other people? Do you? Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. But once you start lashing out at the community, getting upset at the creator and sending them death threats for not following your headcanon, that's when I think it crosses the line. And that's not only for power scaling, that's also for people that make bad ships. I don't have any idea what the hell this point was supposed to be. But anyway, that concludes all of his wrong assertions for my power scaling points. And then he moves on to theories, his real bread and butter. This is really where the hatchet is getting dug up. One of my big complaints about the theories in the One Piece community is, as I've said in my video, there's a lot of baseless theories. They're theories that make absolutely no sense, that creators just churn out for quick views, clickbait titles. They make absolutely no sense, and they tarnish the entire theory community with a lot of garbage. Garbage! I know people that stay away from every One Piece theory just because they know that 90% of them are full of hooey and make no sense. They're not satisfying to watch. They are very long, rambly, and don't derive any enjoyment from them. That's my complaint with the theory community in One Piece. Now, I understand that you took offense to this, being that you are a One Piece theorist, and a lot of your theories are actually really good, but a lot of them ain't. So you start off strong with, do you even watch my theories, bro? Your first argument is that I judge your theories off their titles and thumbnails without actually doing my research before making my video. Oh, yeah, that's likely. Not like I can actually dig up things you've done that sound really bad. Bruh. Please don't make an assumption like that. I meme around to you all the time about how Zoro's gonna get the Sharingan because it's a lot of fun to make fun of that idea. Now, you may not know this, but the Sharingan is actually in Naruto and not in One Piece. So the chances of Zoro actually activating a Sharingan with his eye that's scarred and shut closed ever since the time skip, extremely unlikely that Oda is gonna include a Naruto technique in his story. Let's just make that clear.
The fallacy here is that it is impossible to justify this theory so that it is not baseless. And in a way, you are straight up saying that you should be in control of the ideas that influence the community.
So when I was making this joke, it was a joke that I know can't happen. It was a joke that's just funny because it makes absolutely no sense. To actually use that as my baseline for understanding bad theories on YouTube is laughable. You want some actual examples of bad theories? Because then, a little after in your theory segment of your video, you like to point out that I base your theories off your thumbnails. I see the thumbnail, let's say Zoro awakens Sharingan, and then I'm like, alright, this theory is just because his eyes closed. I'm not gonna watch the full video.
If I decided to make a theory on this subject, you would not even watch it because you have judged the idea from the title and thumbnail. My actual argument, whatever I say, is totally irrelevant to the conversation, when it really should not be. You are assuming that you don't need to watch it because you already know.
You say that in your actual video. You claim and insinuate that I don't do research and don't have a ton of fun wading through the piles of bad theories on YouTube. You think I just judge them based on thumbnails without even researching it first. Well, I hope you're ready for a bit of a news flash, buddy. Let me tell you about some of your own theories. You've titled this theory, The Devil God Awakening, the Second Type of Awakening? Nani? This is a very fantastic theory. I thought it was very good. You talk about how the awakened koala devil fruit might be able to turn the ground into koalas. You see, this theory is based on nothing but fact and evidence. See, that's the kind of thing I want to see in One Piece. I want to see the ground actually turning into koalas, and if that doesn't happen, I will be furious. Anyway, this next theory that you have, the human Ceylon transformation, this was peak Joy Boy. This was your absolute height when it comes to not very good theories at all. During the Katakuri fight, you came up with terrible power theories that were disproven immediately. Like, you saw something in one chapter, there was a Sulong transformation, and then you go on the most ridiculous tangents ever, coming up with the stupidest power scaling of all time. I highly recommend you check this one out. It's a good one. It's a good one. And it's not just One Piece. You kind of do this with My Hero as well. Aoyama snuck up on Deku's room in one of those funny filler side episodes of My Hero Academia, and just because he's sneaky, you're gonna make a video about the identity of the traitor of My Hero. Or how's this one? One Piece, the next great power. This is a fantastic video. It's a video where you talk about soul power. Not the great power as in world powers. No. The next great power, like we have devil fruits, we have hockey. Time for soul power, boys. You ready for soul power? And the evidence for soul power? Brook can control his soul, and it doesn't look like it's from his devil fruit. See, his devil fruit only kept him alive. Doesn't say anything about controlling souls. Soul power confirmed. I hope you're ready for people to start shooting lightning out of their anus with soul power. How's that theory? Oh, how's this one? Ace's lost sister, Goldie Ann, and Roger's lineage. Oh, how about this one? Big Mom's hidden mythical creature. I thought this was a good one, actually. You see, in Big Mom's book of mythical creatures, she has a picture of a centaur, and the picture of the centaur she has was not an actual centaur. It was merely one of those law amalgamations of Punk Hazard that was half man, half horse, but not an actual centaur, so it's not an actual mythical creature. creature. Speaking of not actual mythical creatures, maybe in her book of mythical creatures, she has Monet. You know, the harpy that's not an actual mythical creature, but also one of those weird amalgamation peoples? Yeah. So, what does that have to do with Big Mom's mythical creature? I don't understand. Oh, I'll explain to you. The rest of the theory is all talking about why Monet is secretly alive. Just because Big Mom has a book with a picture of a centaur in it, you're gonna make this whole theory about how Monet survived and is also in that book and is one of Big Mom's mythical creatures. Dude, what the hell are you spouting here, man? Look, I understand you make a lot of great theories, and many of them are actually really good. But don't start blaming me for not researching your videos and basing my assumptions off your titles and thumbnails. When I wage war, I do the advanced scouting first, okay? And while it's true, as far as getting theories wrong, while a lot of theories of yours end up proven wrong, you are actually a very good lad and good sport in that kind of thing. I know that you keep saying in your video that who cares about getting theories wrong? If you get a theory wrong, it's wrong. You move on. This is all about fun discussion, and I agree with you in theory. And when it comes to being a sore loser, you are not a sore loser. A lot of your theories are right, even more of your theories are wrong, and you handle that exceptionally well. Not everyone is exactly like you in that regard. You can't paint a picture for the overall theory community of One Piece just because you are not a sore loser. A lot of people are sore losers. And now it's time for me to bring up another point you made. Dumb people watch all of our videos, and it's the dumb people that watch us that end up spiraling out of control. And we should not be blamed for the dumb people that watch us.
That is to say that we take responsibility for the fact that our content reaches dumb people, and those dumb people can take it and become toxic. Then I guess that you gotta accept the toxicity that you create, secondhand, unintentionally. From those who watch your videos and don't understand the nuance of wholesomeness plus toxicity and how it works for you.
So first of all, how dare you insinuate that dumb people watch my videos? All the people that watch my channel are 189 IQ moral Jesuses that are only toxic as a side profession. How dare you insult my fan base to my face like that? I have a fan base of 1.5 million absolute mad lads, and I love every single one of them. And join the army, subscribe, that's right. Hell yeah. Shameless plug to that red button over there with the bell right next to it that you should also click. Join the strongest fan base on the planet, where we, flex on other communities so hard they have to respond with these weak-ass thingos. Or just straight up agree and join the army. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We'll flex on some more fan bases later. But in the meantime, I don't blame you personally, obviously. But another one of the things that I have to blame the theory community about is the army of baseless theories that just makes it so hard to actually find a decent one. And you flooding YouTube with your theories that you yourself think are stupid very often definitely does not help the entire light of the theory community. In fact, it kills the legitimacy of a lot of the theory community. In my original video, I talk about the kinds of theories I like and the kinds of theories I don't like, so I don't want to reiterate that here. And I highly suggest you check out my original video. I declare war on the One Piece community because it was a very well put together piece that was not even a little bit destroyed by Joy Boy's big fat rebuttal, ironic as that sounds. You end off your video with a very amazing point being, let people have fun.
But I think that you need to at least acknowledge your own toxicity here, ranting about things you have not even bothered to listen to or understand.
People have fun by power scaling, they have fun by making theories, they have fun by making cringy ships. Let them have fun, let them discuss, let them enjoy the experience of One Piece even more. You're even more toxic than they are. Well, first of all, I've never claimed to not be toxic. It's not like I'm this brand safety, not toxic individual on YouTube. I don't even make that up a little bit. I'm toxic to toxic people and wholesome to wholesome ones. That's my brand, baby. And if there's toxic peeps in the One Piece community, I'll flex on them. And it has nothing to do with One Piece, it has nothing to do with the community. There are individuals that must be flexed on, and flex on them I shall. And I'll do this with everything. Don't get me wrong. And I'm all about letting people have fun and following their dreams. Follow your dreams, have fun, have a good time. But the second you start getting toxic to other people, then you'll have me to deal with. That is the bottom line here. It's not like I'm more toxic than they are. I am out-toxicking their toxicity. If they weren't toxic, I'd leave them alone. In all, I very much appreciate the response though. Thank you for taking your time to affirm my points even more. If you're the type of person that wants to watch a lot of speculative content of One Piece, feel free to check out Joy Boy Theories. He makes a lot of good theories, and he definitely has a lot more info on the overall One Piece story than I do. And whenever I learn something new from his channel, a new connection that Oda made from the real world to One Piece, or anything like that, I love to see it. And just by the fact that I have this backlog of your terrible videos, it means I've seen them hoping that they were gonna be good ones. Cause you have a mix. But you see, I find it hard even for your content content when you have this mixed bag? It's not just the overall One Piece community, it's everyone as an individual as well. See, the reason why I don't watch all your videos is this exact reason that I was talking about the One Piece community. There are so many terrible, baseless theories, you never know which one will be just a lot of crap and which one will actually be thought-provoking and cool, which is why I have an issue with baseless theories altogether, and that disproves your whole point of just let them have fun, there's no consequences to their actions, because there is consequences to their actions. And speaking of let them have fun, to really drive home the nail in the coffin here, I was a wee lad when this took place, Mr. Boy of Joy. I apologize sincerely for exposing you over this, but I have not forgotten. Anime Uproar was back in like 2016 making a lot of videos on Attack on Titan, explaining a lot of the lore and stuff, pretty basic videos. He was having fun making them, they were doing really well. And then Anime Uproar passed you in subscribers. You were not very happy with this, of course, and you made an entire video calling him out, telling him, bro, the content that you're making is just content reading off the wiki. Obviously not word for word. Obviously, a lot of work went into those videos, and being that Anime Uproar enjoys Attack on Titan, enjoys the anime sphere, which is why he started making videos altogether a lot, obviously, this came from a place of passion. And it came from a place of passion. It started picking up views. You got jealous, and you called him out that his videos are uninspired garbage. You made a whole video calling him out on that. At the time, you both had less than 100,000 subscribers, so it was quite a while ago. But to your large fan base, you made a video calling him out baselessly, for no reason, purely to smear his name out of jealousy, because he was making videos that didn't hurt anybody. Maybe you're the toxic one here, Joy Boy. Don't go ahead calling me toxic when you've done much worse than anything I did. I didn't even mention your name in my first declaring war on the One Piece fandom video, but being that you responded, I feel like you've opened the gateways, allowing for the flex. After all this is said and done, bro, I have no hard feelings against you. I just felt like this response was 100% warranted, being that the entire video was essentially you trying to be passive-aggressive about me, saying that, oh, I really agree with all of his points, except then you talk about all my points that you disagree with, and you call me toxic and all that, and this is horrible. How can someone call me toxic? I've never been referred to as toxic before in my entire life. Okay, that was definitely not true. I have a lot of people that hate me, and funnily enough, I know that you're not one of those people that actually hates me. I don't hate you, just felt like this was, it was an important response video to make. So hashtag you lost the war. And to prove my good faith and that I obviously have nothing against you, I do a podcast once a week with a bunch of anime YouTubers where we talk about One Piece Virgin. We go arc by arc with someone, funnily enough, it's Anime Uproar, that has never seen One Piece before. And we're about halfway through the One Piece story in these weekly episodes. Link in the description to the Rant Cafe channel, which hosts the One Piece Virgin podcast. They're a lot of fun and they're great. And Joy Boy, as a show of good faith and to really prove that I have nothing against you for trying to do this. I mean, if you try to flex on me, I'll flex back harder. That's just the going rule with everyone. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You're definitely invited to be a guest on the One Piece Virgin. It'll be a pleasure to speak to you, talk to you about One Piece. Hell yeah. At the end of the day, we both enjoy the series, but only one of us can have a W in this war, and that someone is me. Next time you want to respond, and this is going to anyone that hates me, because a lot of people do, please don't accidentally give me a ton of ammo to fire back at you. Let this be a lesson learned to all the future fandoms that I come after. If you don't respond, all the power to you. If you do respond, I will give you nothing but respect if you win. But if you respond and don't expect me to come back swinging way harder, you're in for the flex of your life. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this lovely video. Nothing but wholesomeness and memes here. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it and want to see me flex on other fandoms in other corners of the internet. Because as I've mentioned, I love internet culture and I love destroying the various aspects of toxicity I find. Have yourself a most wonderful, wonderful evening. Especially you, Joy Boy. Thank you for at least having the balls to respond instead of everyone else that didn't. And remember to stay weird, fam.